Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihi al-Kareem. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us about His pious slaves, those that He has favored, those whose path He wants us to walk on. And this includes men and women who have proven their loyalty to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and won Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's favors time and again. There was one family amongst several families that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala selected. In Allah astafa Adam wa Nuhan wa ala Ibrahim wa ala Imran ala al-alameen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about how He selected Adam alayhi salam, Nuh alayhi salam, and their progenies, and how He selected Adam alayhi salam and his family and his progenies. And there was another family, and that was the family of Imran. Imran ibn Mathan was from the progeny of Sulaiman alayhi salam, Sulaiman bin Dawud alayhi salam. These were people of Bani Israel. He was an extremely pious person. And in fact, he, in his time, used to lead the prayers at Bayt al-Maqdis. He was not able to have children, and his wife was eagerly looking to have a child. Once she saw a small bird feeding its little chicks, and the desire to have a child became even stronger in her heart. So she wanted also to have a baby that she could nurse, that she could nurture and raise. She started making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, oh Allah, grant me a child. If you do grant me a child, I will make that child completely free for serving Bayt al-Maqdis. Bayt al-Maqdis meaning Jerusalem, the Masjid al-Aqsa at Jerusalem. So she decided that she would dedicate that child just for the service of al-Masjid al-Aqsa and Bayt al-Maqdis. Soon after this time, she discovered that she had conceived a child in her belly, and her du'as continued. The Quran speaks of her du'as and her intentions. رَبِّ إِنِّي نَذَرْتُ لَكَ مَا فِي بَطْنِي مُحَرَّرًا فَتَقَبَّلْ مِنِّي. O Allah, I have pledged this child to you. Whatever child I have in my belly, I have pledged it to you. Muharrar was that child that was made completely available and free just for serving Bayt al-Maqdis. And she just kept asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala one thing, and that was that Allah accepts this child for this work. Then the time to deliver the child came, and when she gave birth, she discovered that it was not a boy as she was assuming, and it would be a boy that would be able to go into Bayt al-Maqdis and do khidmah there, do service there. She couldn't figure this out. What do I do now? فَلَمَّا وَضَعَتْهَا قَالَتْ رَبِّ إِنِّي وَضَعْتُهَا أُنْثَى. Oh Allah, I have given birth to a female. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responds to her surprise. That surprise and shock, or that feeling of confusion, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَيْسَ الذَّكَرُ كَالْأُنْثَى. Males cannot be like females. There are many aspects in which males cannot be equal to females. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given females certain traits, abilities, strengths that even men cannot have. So there is nothing for you to be worried about. Then she named the child Maryam, and Maryam in the Hebrew language meant Khadimatul Rabb, the one who stays in the service of her Lord all the time. This was the name. And she then started making dua, وَإِنِّي أُعِيدُهَا بِكَ وَذُرِّيَّتَهَا مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. She asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect this child and this child's progeny from shaitan. Now, interesting thing that hadith tells us, that whenever a baby is born, the baby naturally cries, and one of the causes for that is shaitan gets access to this new human being who has come into the world, and shaitan goes and pokes the child. The Prophet ﷺ says that every child cries when they are born, but Maryam alayha ridwan and her son Isa alayhi salam, they did not cry. The dua of the mother of Maryam, whose name was Hanna bint Faqud, her dua kept her child preserved and protected from shaitan right from the first day, right from the moment that she was born. Now, she is extremely happy that she has a child, but she also has a commitment to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I have pledged this child for the service of Bayt al-Maqdis, and I am not to use this child for my own benefit or gain in any way. So she takes the baby to those people who were in charge of Bayt al-Maqdis at that time, who were in charge of the affairs of the masjid, and she said, this is a child that I have given birth to, and I have pledged this child to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't feel good keeping this child with me until I consult with you and we figure out what's going to happen with this child now. So when they discovered that this is the daughter of Imran, they said, well, this is the daughter of our leader, and it's not an ordinary person, it's not an ordinary family. We need to have a serious discussion about this. In the meantime, Zakaria alayhi salam comes by. Now, Zakaria alayhi salam was married to either the sister of Hanna, meaning he would be the uncle, the direct uncle of Maryam alayha ridwan, or he was married to her aunt. In any case, he said, look, this child is a member of my family. I would like to look after this child. They said, we are not going to make this decision so easily and so quickly. They said, we need to draw lots. Draw lots is like drawing a lottery. Now, how did they do this? They went to the river Jordan. And there they said, we are going to cast our pens. These are the pens that they used to write the Torah with. They said, we will take our pens and we will drop them into the river, and whoever's pen stays afloat is going to keep the child. So as they all went, all these religious leaders went, and every one of them wanted to care for this child because of such a noble and distinguished family that the child was from. They took their pens, cast them into the Jordan River, and only Zakaria alayhi salam's pen stayed afloat. In fact, some narrations mention that his pen not only stayed afloat, but it also began to swim against the current of the river. So it was decided unanimously that Zakaria alayhi salam is going to care for this child. Now look at how the Quran narrates this. فَتَقَبَّلَهَا رَبُّهَا بِقَبُولٍ حَسَنٍ. The mother was making one dua consistently, oh Allah, accept this child. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted the child. Some very important lessons here. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts someone, then He will equip them whatever they require to do what needs to be done. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide them with everything and anything that they need. Kind of like how when a person enlists in the army and the army accepts them, once the army accepts you, they're going to equip you with whatever you need. You don't need to worry about where your boots are going to come from and where your uniform is going to come from, where your helmet is going to come from, and where your weapons are going to come from, and how you're going to learn how to use them. The army is going to take care of it. The main thing is to get accepted first. Similarly, people who have great goals for the sake of serving Allah and serving the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala need to first worry about acceptance. They don't need to worry about their deficiencies, about what they're lacking, what they're missing, what their shortages are. They need to focus on getting accepted. Once Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts us, then He will, by His grace, by His mercy, and from His treasures, He will make up for all of the shortages. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted her. Then what did He do? وَأَنْبَتَهَا نَبَاتًا حَسَنًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grew her, raised her in a beautiful way. This means that she was physically perfectly fine and healthy, and she was a beautiful young child. And this child now needed someone who was going to mentor her and take her gradually and slowly closer and closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so she could carry out the function that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had created her for. And Allah made that arrangement as well. وَكَفَّلَهَا زَكَرِيَّا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put her into the care of Zakaria alayhi salam. He gave her the care of Zakaria alayhi salam, and Zakaria alayhi salam now starts looking after. Zakaria alayhi salam is a prophet of Allah. He was the greatest alim in that community. He was the most pious person. He was an elderly person and an elder of that community, of that society. Now Zakaria alayhi salam takes Maryam into his care, and all she sees from the moment she opens her eyes is piety, purity, devotion to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This became the nature of Maryam, and she saw that for every need we turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and at every moment we try to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This concept of iyyaka na'budu and iyyaka nasta'een was instilled in her because of the environment that she saw. This is all she was exposed to. So it became her natural instinct to turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all her needs in all her moments. So when she needed something, she would simply raise her hands and make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Zakaria alayhi salam kept her in a well protected place that people could not access and people could not go and disturb her. So he alayhi salam was the only one who actually had access to go and visit her whenever he wanted, whenever he felt that she needed something. Now, as the girl starts growing, Zakaria alayhi salam starts noticing some amazing things. كُلَّمَا دَخَلَ عَلَيْهَا زَكَرِيَّا الْمِحْرَابِ وَجَدَ عِنْدَهَا رِزْقًا. Every time Zakaria alayhi salam goes to visit her, he finds food there. The food is already there. He has not brought it. She has not ordered it from anyone. No one has access to that place. Ya Maryamu anna laki hada. Oh Maryam, where has all of this food come from? And the food would be very, very amazing, because it would be food, it would be fruit that wasn't available in that land in that season. It would be food that was out of season. It's not available. How is she getting it? From where is she getting it? Ya Maryamu anna laki hada. Where are you getting this from? Qalat huwa min indillah. She says, this is coming directly from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah Azza wa Jal is providing me directly from His treasures. Inna Allah yarzuqu man yasha'u bighayri hisab. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can provide for whoever He wants without any account, without any limitations. Many important lessons here. Many important lessons. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can take work from men and women. Women should not underestimate their potential, and men should not underestimate the potential of women. The second thing is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help comes where there is acceptance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted this girl, so Allah provided her with everything. The other thing is that we should turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with high expectations and high hopes. We never know how far those du'as are going to go. These precious days and nights are moments of dua, they are moments of prayer, especially the time before Fajr, when usually everyone is busy with suhoor, and the time before Maghrib when everyone is busy preparing for iftar. These are very special moments for dua. Let us also make dua today and every other day, every day that follows until the conclusion of this month. Let's ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for our sincere desires to please Him, to get close to Him, to do something amazing in this world. Let's use these minutes carefully, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not let them go in waste, will not let them go in vain. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us tawfiq to capitalize on this and accept our prayers. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah khair, Mufti Sahib. Wa alaikum assalam. We're short of time today, so we won't take questions today. But Jazakallah khair. Inshallah, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.